Hey, what's happening? Welcome back to the GM. I'm your guy, Boulanger. And up next on the GM, we're going to be talking about a Baltimore Ravens timeline. The reason why establishing a timeline is super important for Ravens Nation, but specifically for the Baltimore Ravens organization, is because we are certainly aware that we don't have a quarterback under contract. Not Lamar, not Tyler Huntley, and not Anthony Brown. And so without having a quarterback under contract, uh, we will fail to sign any free agents or any free agents that are significant. Okay. So let's talk about a timeline. Okay, we know that February 21st was the beginning of the franchise tag. That's when the franchise tag could be applied. We know that there's two types of franchise tags, and it's really no point in discussing the difference. Either one, um, it's going to serve as, a holding pattern for Lamar Jackson to see if they can get a deal done. Okay, we know that the deadline, another important date is March 7th, is the deadline to apply that franchise tax. So we certainly know that they're not letting Lamar Jackson walk for free. So we know that it will be certainly applied before March by or before March 7th. Um, the next major date is March 15th, which is the beginning of free agency. And we know that the tampering window starts, I think, a day earlier. But the reason why March 7th is super important, I think they have to have a deal done by March 7th, simply because no significant offensive weapon is going to sign up to play in Baltimore with a quarterback that they're unaware of, right? If Lamar Jackson is franchise tagged, players are smart enough to know he's not signing that. Number one. Number two, um, if they trade Lamar, they still won't know who their quarterback is. Are players going to really sign up for to play with Tyler Huntley? Certainly not. And I'm not knocking Tyler Huntley. He's done some good things, and he's filled in the gap for Lamar, somewhat adequately, but he's not Lamar Jackson. Players aren't coming to sign up to play with Tyler Huntley. So then you got to begin to wonder, okay, are we going to go with a rookie quarterback? Well, certainly if they trade Lamar, they will certainly draft a quarterback probably in the first round of the 2023 draft. Well, what veteran wide receiver is going to sign up to come and play with a rookie? Unless the Baltimore Ravens offer a exponential amount of money, they're not signing a significant wide receiver in this year's free agency. And so I think that they have to go ahead and to make a determination. We've heard all the commentary from national sports media. We've heard the difference in contracts. We've heard 133 million guaranteed versus 230 million dollars guaranteed, which is what Lamar's looking for. We heard about fully guaranteed deals, and then we heard Lamar didn't really request a fully guaranteed deal. And so I think that it's really coming down to the guaranteed money. And if I'm a quarterback, not just Lamar, but any quarterback who's getting ready to get paid, that's Joe Burrow, that's Justin Herbert, that's Jalen Hurts, I'm gonna want to see the guaranteed money, because having a big contract with no with low guaranteed money doesn't mean anything. And so I don't really blame Lamar for wanting more guaranteed money. And so the urgency is now. You know, as a Ravens fan, would I like to see Lamar back? Yes. Could they get a deal done and bring Lamar back? Yes. I don't doubt that. I've shown in a video several weeks back that we found the money. We saw the Ravens have 24 million this year, 86 million next year, and then 145 plus million the year after. So the money is there. Could they fit Lamar under those salary caps? Absolutely. The question is, will they? And it doesn't look like they will. So I need the Ravens to make a decision one way or another. You know, I understand it's a business. Am I gonna be mad that they didn't sign Lamar? Not really. Do I want to see him go? Nope, I do not. But I understand that this is a business, and as a sports fan, you know that your team will make moves and decisions that you don't always agree with. And so the Ravens have fumbled this timeline. They've had 2 years to get this done, 2 years to offer a significant deal, and they didn't do it. And so now Um, if they're not careful, the Ravens could fumble the 2023 season as a whole, with or without Todd Monken signing on, with or without, uh, adding some defensive pieces, right? And so there'll be guys sign up to play defense for the Baltimore Ravens. That defense is going to be really, really good. But who really is going to sign up for the Baltimore Ravens offensively? You know, and so I think that March 7th is the deadline. If they don't have a deal done by March 7th, I think they have to go into trade mode. And I think the trade has to be done before free agency so that free agents will be aware of what's happening in Baltimore. If free agency starts, I want you to hear it first from me. If free agency starts and Lamar Jackson isn't under contract or traded by the beginning of free agency, we should not expect a wide receiver of any significance to sign in Baltimore. Now, could Baltimore flip a couple of picks and get a wide receiver? Yeah, but I think that's the only way we upgrade the wide receiver position. But here's a question, right? Here's a real question. What would be the benefit of upgrading the wide receiver position where you paying a guy, a large sum of money, but you don't have a franchise guy in place at quarterback? You see, that's again seems like we're working backwards. And so I think that we have to get this thing right this time. If you're gonna move on from Lamar, then let's just do it. If we're gonna keep him, then let's just do it. It's very, very clear. You know what I'm saying? I think at this point it's very clear where the money stands. So it's not even a money question at this point. It's not a question of what Lamar wants. He wants the guaranteed money, not a fully guaranteed contract. And I think that the message has been mixed over the last month or so when we talk about fully guaranteed versus guaranteed money. I projected a couple of different contracts that could make Lamar the highest paid quarterback by annual salary, give him good guaranteed money, but also allow them to get a divorce in a couple of years if they need to. I projected a 4-year, $204 million fully guaranteed deal. Okay. Now, the reason why a 4-year 204 is a fully guaranteed deal is a good contract simply because Lamar wants probably more than $200 million in fully guaranteed money. Okay. If they fully guarantee the whole thing, that's $51 million annually. You could simply put him, an 80 to $90 million signing bonus in paid at signing. Now all you're doing is dividing the rest of the guaranteed money into 4 years, which breaks down to, if you do 80 million, that's 124 left. 4 into 124 breaks down to $31 million a year. That's what his base salary would be. You see, it's not rocket science on how to get a deal done. And so I think that when we get that messaging through the media that, man, they're far away from a deal and it can't be done and it's hard and how they're going to sign anybody. Well, here's the other part of it. If they don't get a deal done by March 7th, how are they going to sign anybody? So it's the same question. Deal done and you pay Lamar. How are they going to make room to sign anybody? If you don't pay Lamar and you trade him, how are you going to sign anybody? So people are playing both sides of the same argument, really. And so I really believe that Baltimore is in a pinch, right? But they don't really have to be. I think Ravens Nation would settle down and settle into a trade, especially if we get good draft compensation. I certainly think, Lamar Jackson trade will get good draft compensation. Then we as Ravens Nation could begin to accept the fact that Lamar is gone. He's going to be playing in another city, and we can begin to turn our attention to the future, right? Um, and we'll talk about that. We'll address that in another video, like, how did we get here? And where do we go from here, really? So, man, so I just wanted to jump in and just kind of, you know, make a statement about where we are in Ravens Nation. Want to kind of establish a real timeline. Um, and I think that also March 7th is a good time to go ahead and figure out what you're going to do because the combine will be upon us. You'll be able to see the quarterbacks throw. You'll be able to see them run. You'll be able to see their mobility, their athleticism. You'll be able to see the deep ball, the short pass, the accuracy. And so I think that the combine being in March versus February this year is certainly another reason to make the March 7th the final deadline. And so listen, man, that's my take, man, this morning. Let me know what you guys want me to know, man. It's good to be back in the lab, so to speak, um, hanging out with you guys. So listen, share, like, comment. Uh, I don't know what the agenda is going to look like for this week, where we're going to be headed, but know that we are on a journey. And so thank you guys again for hanging out with the GM. I'm your guy, Boulanger, and I'm out.